So here it is, something I should have done a long time ago. So I played Wings of Liberty campaign twice. The first time I played it when it came out, but then I quit playing Starcraft, and I did purchase Heart of the Swarm. I didn't purchase Legacy of the Void, but when I was playing Heart of the Swarm campaign, I wasn't particularly interested in it. I found the campaign to be slightly too easy, perhaps because my main race is zerg, and the campaign obviously is played as zerg. So I, considering that I quit competitive Starcraft by then, I moved on to greener pastures. But when the final chapter came out, Legacy of the Void, I thought that it was an event that merited some kind of special treatment. So I went back, I played original Starcraft, I played Starcraft Brood War, and then I did Wings of Liberty. But by the time I got to this last chapter of Wings of Liberty, I was a bit bored with it because it was my second playthrough, and more than that, I was very anxious to see, obviously when you play it on brutal it takes some time, and I was really anxious and really excited to see how the expansions turn out. So when I started playing this last mission, and I had to redo it a couple of times, I decided that because I already played it once, I'm gonna skip it for now, I'm gonna come back to it later. And the plan was to come back to it pretty soon, but as it turned out, it took probably a month, maybe even 2 months for me to get back to this. So here it is, and it's done post factum and post mortem, but I feel that it is needed for to provide some kind of closure to my playthrough on my channel. Granted, I'm no Trump or creep, however, my channel isn't that popular, so no one's gonna hold me accountable for lack of continuation. But for my own personal feeling of order, it has to be done. So here it is, and I haven't played any Starcraft in a while. In fact, I've been playing Baldur's Gate, which is pretty casual game, APM wise, compared to Starcraft. Anyway, let's not delay it any longer.
Huh? In the rear with the... Go ahead. What's going on? Ah! You scared me!
For some reason I'm experiencing terrible lag. Let me close down my browser. Maybe that'll help out.
If things get out of hand, use the energy nova to clear out your base. The recharge time is pretty fast, so don't hesitate to use it.
I'm gonna have to do something, by the way. I understand what happened now. I had a problem with the graphic card. So right now I'm using my old graphics card. So that's why it's lagging. Before, when I was recording it, I was using the new one.
I got my ears on.
Oh, I hope it's gonna work.
Been waiting who wants some. Armed and ready. Big job, already.
Still feels somewhat off, to be perfectly honest.
In the rear with the gear. Uh-huh. SCV ready.
Add-on complete. Your forces are under attack.
Sure.
Add-on complete.
Armed and ready. Who wants some? Be ready.
Still feel laggy. Not by a lot, but a little laggy.
Gangway. Coming through.
Your forces not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
What happened to this city there?
Your forces are under attack. Base is under attack. Add-on.
How slow am I being? Yeah.
What's our target?
Not enough. Add-on. Not enough minerals.
In the rear with the
Your
gear.
forces are under attack. Upgrade complete. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Add-on. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Big job, huh? I can't build here. Want a piece of me, boy?
Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus 1 inbound.
Where is another swarm?
Your full space is under attack.
It's very important to get another swarm.
Weapons hot.
Base is under attack.
Proceeding.
Base is under attack. Additional supply.
Damn supplies, huh?
Base is under attack.
Gangway. We could use some help here. In the rear with the gear. Yep. This better be good.
Upgrade
Yeah, we need to
complete.
do some more
Not
here.
enough minerals.
Go, go, go!
Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus 1 inbound.
I got this.
Base is under attack.
And done. No problem. Inbound.
Base is under
I'm being
attack.
so slow, holy crap.
Go ahead.
Where is my... There they are.
The artifact's energy nova is fully recharged.
Yeah. Receiving.
Okay.
I got this.
Not enough minerals.
More supplies, huh?
Go ahead.
We need to start building that. Because I remember there will be a drop sometime later, I don't know.
Base is under attack. Alert. Class 12 psionic waveform detected. The Queen of Blades is inbound.
I'm tired of working through others. It's time I took a personal hand in your demise.
Yeah? Engine screaming.
Okay, so far so good.
Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus worm.
Oh, we shouldn't have made a mistake there.
Regret that.
We've driven her back. Keep it up.
Weapons hot.
Base is under attack. Not enough minerals.
No problem.
I might as well get it now.
All back. I got this. Can do. Right.
Alright. So that's 200 supply, huh? That came too quickly.
Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus worm inbound.
Roger.
Done and done.
No.
Base is under attack.
I got this. All the ball. Right.
Base is under attack.
Can do. Done and done. Turbine
Base is under attack.
call the ball. Engage.
Just get.
Oh, I know, repair stuff.
Roger. Yo.
Sir, I'm picking up a mass of overlords heading your way. Ready your air defenses.
Affirmative.
Anything came through? Maybe over there?
Got this.
Our SCVs are under attack. Upgrade complete. Base is our SCVs under attack.
Alright, let's save up here. So we don't have...
Class 12 psionic waveform detected. The Queen of Blades has returned.
Scour you all from my world.
Engage.
The artifact's energy nova is fully recharged.
Squadron en route.
Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus worm inbound.
I'll talk to you later.
Kerrigan's going underground. Pour it on, troops.
Call it back. No
Need to
problem.
kill it. Yo.
Yeah? Weapons hot. Mayday! Mayday!
Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus worm inbound.
Again.
Base is under attack.
Well, it's been going better than before.
This better be good.
Have to admit that.
Receiving. Right. Fine.
Who wants some? Gangway. Coming through.
Maybe. No. Save again. I sort of maybe got a bit too friendly with all the super saving nonsense after playing some Baldur's Gate.
The artifact's energy nova is fully recharged.
Engine screaming.
Class 12 psionic waveform detected. The Queen of Blades has returned.
You fools should never have come here.
Holla back.
Okay.
Confirmed. No problem. Can do. Done and done.
Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus worm inbound.
There's someone down there. Whoa, what the hell happened there? Alright. We made a mistake somewhat. I bet she AOE'd me and I didn't even notice.
Upgrade complete.
Crap. So we need to move up like a little bit out.
Unacceptable landing zone.
In the rear.
Probably build
The
some.
artifact's energy nova is fully recharged. Class 12 psionic waveform detected. The Queen of Blades has returned.
You fools should never have come here.
Okay.
This better be good. Been waiting for you. Who wants some?
Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus worm inbound.
She's retreated again. Hold the line.
Okay, and you see this? Oh, they're all dead. There.
Yeah.
Base is under attack.
Receiving. Engaging.
Okay.
Inbound.
Felt like it had to be done. Maybe I'm wrong in that. But it felt like.
No problem. I got this. That's fine. Can do. Turbo.
I can't build here.
Loud and clear.
Base is under attack.
What else? Probably.
Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus worm inbound.
Done and done.
Alright.
Engaging.
Base is under attack.
I got my ears on.
Base is under attack.
What's going on?
Receiving. Right. Engaging. Done and done. Roger that.
Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus worm inbound.
That's fine. Confirmed.
Is it just me or is it spawning now a lot more often?
Is under attack.
No problem.
Base is under attack.
Roger that.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Turbines to full. Weapons hot.
Radar field depleted.
Inbound.
Oh, we need more of that, that's for sure.
Going. Speak up.
Loud and clear. That's fine. Roger that. I got this. Can do. No problem.
Mineral field depleted. The artifact's energy nova is fully recharged.
Alright.
Speak. This better be bad news.
Receiving.
What's
Maybe I
going
need
on?
more of that here. Just in case they break through.
Base is under attack. Base is under attack.
Done and done.
Alright. I really feel dirty about abusing the save. But
Class
we'll,
12 psionic waveform detected.
trust me, we'll
The
make
Queen
it.
of Blades has returned.
You fools. You're playing with forces beyond your comprehension.
Gonna give me orders? In the rear with the
Receiving. Can do.
Base is under attack.
No.
Might be a good time to use the artifact's nova, sir.
Maybe it is.
She's on the run, man.
No, we can't afford to lose it. And I feel dirty about this. I honestly do. About all the save reload, but honestly I'm
Engine screaming.
I don't know, I'm not
Class 12
entertained.
psionic waveform detected. The Queen of Blades has returned.
You fools. You're playing with forces beyond your comprehension.
I don't know what to do about it though.
Fine.
Been waiting on you.
Base
She's on the run, man. Let's keep the pressure on.
Yeah, buddy.
Engine screaming.
Gotcha.
She definitely did do a lot of damage though.
mineral field depleted.
Can do. Fine. Receiving. Weapons hot.
Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus worm inbound.
Turbines to full.
Base is under attack.
Confirmed.
Base is under attack.
Fine. Engine screaming. Weapons hot. Confirmed.
Base is under attack. Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus worm inbound.
Tonight a swarm sets.
Fine.
Base is under attack.
Inbound.
Base is under attack.
Weapons hot. Turbines to full. Done
Oh
and
my.
done.
Insufficient. Warning. Seismic disturbance detected. Nidus worm inbound.
The artifact's energy is peaking. Just hold out a little longer.
Oh, we're almost done. Holy crap.
The artifact's energy nova is fully recharged.
Hey, it on me.
Base is under attack.
Engine screaming. Done and done.
But if we'll make it.
Roger that.
Base is under upgrade complete. Our SCVs are under attack. Base is under attack. Class 12 psionic waveform detected. The Queen of Blades has returned.
This has gone on long enough. Time to die.
Did we lose all of them? Crap, we did lose all of them.
Upgrade complete. Base is under attack. Base is under attack.
I guess it's just all YOLO now.
Our SCVs are under attack.
You will pay for this treachery.
I hear Sarah.
She's losing it. Been waiting on
Under
you.
attack.
Well, that was easy. Yo.
Artifact power at full capacity.
Now or never, General. Hit it!
Well, that was actually sort of easy. I feel like I didn't even really have to reload it as often. I just was really not in the mood of redoing it over and over again. You know, I hope you understand. When you're doing the campaign and when you're already done it twice, and you're all the way through to the whole finale, 3 games essentially, you're not really anxious to be suffering here through this. That being said, I have a challenge, right? My challenge is do all the bonus achievements in Brutal, but do them all at the same time. I don't know if I can do this two at the same time. They're sort of contrarian to each other in a certain way. Anyway, yeah, it also tells me how tired I was. Like, when I was first trying to complete this mission, I had this issue with my eye. And, like, my eye was in pain. And, sometimes, not all the time. Anyway, yeah. It's like you don't really notice when you feel tired or sick until after it's passed, you know. I guess same with drunk. That's why so many people drunk drive. They think they're not drunk, but you can't really realize those things until they're passed. And this is one of them. I thought I was slightly incapacitated, but not by a lot. I didn't think that the mission was hella challenging for me when I was playing it at the time. But now that I go back, it seems not quite as hard as I thought it was. Like, it seemed so hard to me, I was considering going back on the mission instead of leaving nitrogens up, leaving air up. Either way, thank you for watching. Here comes the cutscene, I suppose.
Sarah.
You reading all this?
You have your orders, Mr. Findlay. Carry them out.
Titus, what have you done?
I made a deal with the devil, Jimmy. She dies, I go free.
We all got our choices to make.
Damn shame.
Jan?
It's okay. I got you.
Alright, so that's the campaign, and I'll be back with a closing statement. For all the games I've done so far, I did closing statements and opening statements, so to put it, because a lot of the games that I have so far played and recorded meant something to me or excited me for some reason. I'm sure in the future there will be games where I don't have much to say. Some of those introductions and outroductions were separate videos, and some of them were part of just, you know, when I started the game or when I ended it. I think that was the case with Baldur's Gate in particular. But I feel that I need for at least Starcraft and probably in the future, because I do sort of want to elevate my quality of my videos, and I'm working towards it. It's not that I want to be popular or have a dream of becoming a professional caster. Just something I'm enjoying and I'm working on. But that's, I digress. What I wanted to say is that you know, in all the before introduction and outros, what I was doing is just I was speaking sort of from the heart. But the thing is that, you know, when you speak from the heart without any preparation, it can get quite messy. It can get you can get lost in your own thought, and I think that's especially the case with me. I do have quite an easily distracted mind, and it wanders a lot. So I think I'm gonna write something down. I'm not just gonna be reading from the paper, because I've seen videos of people who do that, even people who've been casting for a while, and whenever you read from the paper, you always sound like you read from the paper, of course, unless you're some kind of actor or probably politician who's well versed in delivering monologues, but I'm not. So I assume whenever I will be reading from a paper, it's gonna sound like I am reading from the paper, boring and uninspired. So I'm just gonna write down at least some kind of outline, plot line, whatever, of my speech, and not sure exactly what I'm gonna say yet, even remotely, because I'm sure when it comes to Heart of the Swarm and Legacy of the Void, I will have less to say, but Wings of Liberty, it definitely holds a very special place in my heart. It was the best, I think, best Starcraft 2. It definitely is one of my favorite games, and it's also a game where I was extremely successful in. Of course, on the internet these days, extremely successful really means you know, being able to compete with Korean pro gamers, but I do not have the prowess or ability to be one out of, I don't know, top 1000 out of 6 billion. I was top 200 in the United States, and at some point, in early point of StarCraft, I was probably even higher than that. Definitely during the beta I was one of the best zergs in the United States. Of course, that's sort of because not as many people were playing, so it's a bit like cheating, but I was still, even in my days when I was worst, at my worst I was Grandmaster, so won quite a bit of tournaments. All of this StarCraft was an eye-opening experience to me in many ways, and it definitely taught me the power of hard work, because before StarCraft 2 came out I was always, like, you know, they teach you that, you know, wise man listens to others, but I feel that that's a bit of a lie. You can't listen to others. If you want to be even at my level, which isn't gonna impress anyone on the internet because of high demand, even if you're just gonna be a Grandmaster, not a world-renowned StarCraft player, you are so unique, there are so few of people like you that you cannot listen to anyone. People don't know any better. Even people of your own skill level, they will have their own style that won't fit you, for example. Unless you have access to someone like Snoot level or Scarlet, anyone else's advice is mostly useless. So that was me before I played Wings of Liberty. I listened to advice of other people in Brood War, and I was really bad because some of advice didn't fit me, and some of advice was elitist type of advice, like people would say that your hardware didn't matter, it didn't matter what mouse you played on, like it didn't matter if you, there was a whole big deal of splitting drones, and people would always like, it's better to use bad mouse, but it's, you know, it's a ball mouse, ball mice were a big deal at the time, like you don't need DPI, and oftentimes people like to give advice to make themselves feel better and more important. So a lot of bad advice, but no one really gave me the advice that to be a good at StarCraft you gotta be really hard working, you gotta play really a lot, and you know, you can't really grasp how much you need to play to be really good at StarCraft. And another thing is that playing a lot is not enough. You have to have a plan, have to have a strategy, you know. And I think actually the early day 9 videos were really good for that matter. Maybe, I don't know, because like I felt that day 9 videos sort of, they dropped quality. I think it's both. Day 9 videos dropped in quality, I think, when StarCraft 2 came out, because day 9 wasn't all that good in StarCraft 2. Well, that's not entirely true. I think he was really, actually not sure, he was hiding his account. He was claiming that it's high, but he was hiding it. But regardless, day 9 obviously had the ability, if he played enough, to be good at StarCraft 2, but he didn't play enough, so maybe even if he was high ranked, he didn't really play enough to know all intricacies of the game. And I think that's what dropped, but also I think my skill got higher, so a lot of his advice at that point, for me, became total nonsense. But I think Day 9's Brood War videos are quite insightful, and he was really, like, when Starcraft was playing, he was one of the best in the world. He was actually able to compete with Koreans, and he really played a lot. And I think that his insight in Starcraft Brood War was really good, and I think it really might be geared towards the entry-level players. And this is the kind of guy who does value hard work, who does understand how much you need to play to be successful. That's a bit of an outro right there, actually. But anyway, yeah, hard work, you have to be structured, you have to have a plan, you have to have a plan in every game. Yeah, it's not hard, it's not easy being good. And yeah, I used to be like pretty good at computer games. I used to like say that I was good at Brood War as well, but I wasn't really. Like Brood War, I was confident in Brood War because I was like on C on WGT, which is really bad, I think, in retrospect. I used to think that I was good at computer games, and I was sort of on that level, but Wings of Liberty really opened up my eyes on how much effort I need to put out to be really good. And anyone who tells you, like Stefano, that they aren't practicing are that good, they're lying to you. It also sort of hurts my ego now that I look back that really I think I was as good at Starcraft 2 as I could. Almost. There certainly could be room for improvement. I could be, like, if I didn't have carpal tunnel, I could have played more, could have played easier. If I was in some kind of comfortable pro house, where people are motivated and people sort of like work out your schedule or something like that for you, I think I could have been better. But most I could expect be like on level maybe Jon Snow's level. I'm not sure how good he is right now, to be honest, but yeah, someone who's almost breaking into that Snoot level. And I think that like level Snoot and Korean level is just simply I could never accomplish that. Even though I've beaten Koreans, I've beaten people who've beaten Koreans. I think it's more probably because if you play enough games and you're good enough, you're gonna beat anyone. So yeah. And to digress, I'm playing sim racing right now because sim racing is something I actually enjoy a lot, and like it's a lot less stressful. That's why there is more room for enjoyment. But I've been playing it for years. I haven't been playing it a lot, but I've been playing it for years, and I'm not even particularly good at it. That's like, it's also games that, like, I felt all the games, even if I wasn't on the top level, like Wings of Liberty was probably the only game that I was like on the really this extremely high level. And other games that I was pretty good at was Anarchy Online. PvP and PvE to a lesser extent, but it was a really small game, so it's hardly an achievement. There were so few people playing it. And Forza Horizon I had quite a few world records, but I also think it might be because the competition on Forza Horizon isn't that high, to be honest. I think people who get really good, they move on from Forza Horizon to games like Forza Motorsport and iRacing and R-Factor, because people always want to improve. And if you reach top of, although crowds for sim racing and arcade racing might be different. Yeah, it's humbling experience when I'm not trying my hardest in it, but I do feel like I have a lot of experience in computer games, right? So for me, I find it really easy for like in a sim racing, to get to a certain point and then be very consistent at that point. But the problem for me, honestly, and maybe it's a testament to my stupidity or something like that, when I get to that point of plateau, I don't really know how to advance further. I try to watch replays and copy exactly what other people are doing, but that's impossible because in sim racing, car setups matter a lot, and obviously top level racers, they try to hide them because of competitiveness. And also inputs, you're not really sure because there are so many inputs in sim racing, throttle input and steering wheel. They're like, the combinations are nearly endless of how you can control it and how you're gonna achieve what you're gonna achieve. So yeah, and that's another thing it gets me frustrated, and that's my flaw. I want to be good, and I want to be good now, but the truth is that sometimes you can't force it. Sometimes your brain does it for you. Like it was pretty late realization for me. Even I think after Starcraft came out, I think I didn't really fully grasp. Oh, I was also good at Grey Goo. I think I didn't really entirely grasp the concept of letting your brain do the work until I started playing Grey Goo. I hit quite a few plateaus in Grey Goo, and I feel like whenever I try to analyze and improve that way, it was sort of like you fail because you run out of your conscious capacity. But whenever I would take a break or whatever, or just keep playing without thinking about what my plateau is, I would always improve. So your brain, in the back of your brain, something you're not in control of, it figures these things out for you. So you need to have patience, which I don't. And I think this hurts me a lot, because I also noticed another thing, that the best I played Starcraft and the best I played Grey Goo is when I was tired and sleepy. Because I feel that when I'm not tired and sleepy, I always overanalyze what's going on. I feel that if I was more focused on it, I would be better. It actually reminds me of a horrible loss I experienced. I just played so bad at the finals of Grey Goo tournament series. Like a lot of people under-delivered or whatever, but I'm kicking myself, and I think other people also like sort of, because I was definitely one of the top level guys, and I just played poorly, and I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be blaming myself. Like I feel like everyone is like looking at me, oh, this guy's an idiot, what's he doing? But I think it's like I'm pretty confident, even cocky, especially coming from StarCraft community into this community, Grey Goo community. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna slay everyone. And I feel the cockiness. Maybe other people can sense this cockiness, and they like feel like I underperform. But then again, a lot of people didn't really give me respect I deserved when they were picking who's gonna, be favorite to win it all. But I feel that I'm the type of guy who's inconsistent. At the top of my game, I definitely am one of the best, but whenever I encounter a problem, especially a problem I haven't encountered before, I'm not a quick one to solve it. And so I think might have been people, especially since time zones differed so greatly in Grey Goo, might have been that people would have seen me at a different time, and they would only see me at a different time, and depending on how fresh and tired I was, they would only see one side of me. But still, I feel like I'm underrated. Like no one thought I was. Well, maybe it's true. My problem was really my Go versus Go was very good. I think but again, not always. This means nothing to StarCraft players. Dallas was really good in Go versus Go. And I think it depends on style. Lately I don't know, people gave me compliments on my Go versus beta. I think was very good. It's a shame that they patched the game after tournament. I had such good replays of me versus Ted that couldn't be watched anymore. Mago versus Beta was good, yeah, for sure, but I think most people didn't actually see the goodness of it because I was practicing against dead in custom games. Mago versus Human was horrible though, so I think considering that Go versus Go people consider random and Beta players didn't really practice all that much, I think people would judge me by versus Human and think I was really weak when I was only weak versus Human. Anyway, what lessons did I have to learn from that? Don't trust people's advice unless they're really top level players. Hard work, and that sometimes you can still practice, but don't dwell on things. Your brain has a way of figuring things out. So you chill out with that and you just keep on trucking. Anyway, it's been half an hour of the game and 20 minutes of talking, and I promised to deliver a closing statement that I prepared, and this wasn't prepared, but it was pretty coherent, I think. More coherent at least than my previous monologues, and I think actually Baldur's Gate helped me a lot. There's a lot of reading in Baldur's Gate, and so it's sort of like when you play a game like Starcraft, it's really hard to commentate because the game is so fast paced, and you have to dedicate 90% of your brain to playing. So whatever talking is gonna happen, it's gonna be autopilot. But in Baldur's Gate, slow paced, you can really talk, you can really discuss it. I think it gave me some talking skills. Anyway, closing statement will be out later, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.